Hey there. So I am continuing this series on all things creating promotion, velocity, retention, protection, and also really deepening your leadership bench, for female leaders and executives and rising leaders. And in honor of International Day of the Women, I'm going to continue sharing some strategies on really how to get that done. And my name is Sheryl Kline. I am a mental toughness and certified high performance executive coach, best-selling author, I guess 2 times best-selling author now, speaker, and CEO and founder of the Zone Lab. So what we're going to be talking about today, how to get these important things done, is how women can make an ask so they are heard, valued, respected, and championed in high stakes communications, conversations, and really any types of interactions. So the theme of International Day of the Woman 2026 is give to gain. And so I'm going to be talking a little bit about if companies give these research-backed proven processes and tools, what are they going to gain? So let's talk a little bit about how female leaders and rising leaders can make a big ask and really be heard, valued, respected, and honestly championed by even some of the folks who might even be a little more challenging or have some ego-based behavior, or maybe even those with possibly some narcissistic tendencies. Bringing those folks over and how to champion them can be extremely powerful. So what are some of the things that can be done? The first one is really to do your homework. Now, this is important at all levels. If you're thinking, I'm an executive, I know how to do this, but I say in every video, new level, new devil. So you might be amazingly confident, know how to make an ask, hold yourself very well, and feel extremely influential. But we all get knocked out of our ability to be highly influential and confident in certain situations. So these will apply to you if you're a rising female executive or if you are already on an executive leadership team. So the first thing, do your homework. A lot of times people prepare for these high stakes communications by thinking about what they have to say and how they're going to deliver it, which of course is very important. But one thing that I've seen over the last 2 decades is even at every level, even at the highest level, one thing that female leaders and rising leaders either fail to do or don't do it thoroughly enough is thinking about the interaction from the other person's perspective. So that is part of your homework. That is what we call strategic-based empathy. And it's not thinking about what must it be like to them. It's thinking, I am this person. What is keeping me up at night? What would make my life easier? This is a big one. What am I afraid of losing? Or what pain do I have? So really thinking through that as if you are that person. That is part of your homework. And then the other one is really getting clear on what your give is. You know, we're talking about give to gain. So of course it's if companies give these tools, what can they gain? But also we have to give as well. So if we are a female executive or a rising leader, we have to think about, even if we're in the rooms in the high stakes conversations with people who potentially make us a little bit uneasy or uncomfortable or nervous, you have value too. So it's really doing your homework and thinking about getting crystal clear on not just what I want to get out of this conversation, what do I have to contribute to this conversation? And this is really important as well. How do I want to feel when I exit this conversation, and how do I want the other person to feel? So go into these conversations. If you are talking to someone a level above, a skip level, your CEO, executive board, the board of directors or what have you, it's very important to also think of them respectfully as an equal, because a lot of times when we put someone on a pedestal, the only place for them to look is down. Okay, I'm going to say that again. If we put someone on a pedestal, the only place for them to look is down. And it's true. Somebody might have more experience than you. They might have different experience than you or what have you. But you have value to bring. And here's why this is really important. It's important for you to get in the right mindset. But if you are in that mindset, what we're thinking comes out of our mouth. And if you've been around me for a while, you heard me say this a bunch. So if we're wondering if we're worthy of being in the room, or if we're a little uncertain and using too many words, or we are just not confident in ourselves and not feeling highly influential, the other person is going to pick up on that. The reason why is when we're communicating, only 7% of what we say is actually based on our words, what's interpreted by the other person. So it's extremely important that you are confident in yourself so the other person is going to be confident in you. So also to acknowledge and validate their point of view. So if you're wondering how to do this, you can open up a conversation with, you have the platitudes or, thank you for taking the time and that type of thing, but really acknowledge and validate their perspective first. So you want to get clear on your give, your ask, what you bring to the table. Second, first, it's important to connect with them. So in other words, thank you for taking the time. It seems like, it sounds like, it feels like, those are good openers. Saying it, it seems like, reducing spend and growth over the next quarter is most important. And then you just let them come back. And it doesn't matter if you're wrong, because they will love to correct you. And then you'll have even more information. So in future sessions, that once this is how you start and build a runway. In future sessions, in future videos, I'm going to talk about how to actually structure the communication. Right now, this is the mental preparation and some of the tactical preparation so you can make an ask and feel heard, valued, respected, and also championed by the person or people who are in that room. So here's to you being amazing. I am cheering you on always. There is a resource attached here to help you see if you or your team can just to see where you are in terms of confidence and influence. As always, I am here in terms of coaching, speaking, and also forming peer advisory masterminds, which has been so popular since 2026 has kicked off. If you would like to have a conversation, or if I can help you help the women in your organization in any way, please do reach out to me directly.